Meet up with Joe. Actually,
saying like they're up here, checking shit out. I picked like 6 different cars.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Our whole thing was we heard
Toyota. There was another about like a whole Subaru coming out. Like about 6 or 7 people in it.
Really?
Yeah. And they're all just like, we're from Milano and we're doing this, we're doing that, and we're checking on things. I'm like, yeah, you get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah.
Like, they just wouldn't leave until another group of guys came down. They're like, you guys need to get the fuck out of here. They pull up their ARs and they're like, yep, okay.
Yeah, that's the International Welcome Committee to get the hell out.
Well, I mean, it's just trying to make sure no one's listening.
Yeah. No, I mean, it needs to happen. They've already arrested people for doing just that.
Right.
We had down in Jordan's neighborhood, like he called me from Estacada, and he said that someone right behind his house, like they got broken into. So I was like, man, that's like the lowest form of degenerate, man. Like people evacuate for the fear of losing everything they own while you go in and steal. Yeah, and then I guarantee in the back of their head, they're like, well, they're gonna lose it anyway. That kind of weird shit where you're like, right? Yeah, for real. That mentality where it's like, okay, well, then you don't mind if you put your life on the line then, because that's what's gonna happen up here.
I just cruised up. I was trying to see if just a second, see if I can come around, find you guys. I thought it was you.
These guys.
So now I know everything's okay.
Yeah. Well, as good as we can be, right? Like,
I'm gonna head back.
Yeah, we ran through like 2 or 3 pockets right down on the corner here. Like, and there's one house. If you take us down, like, right as it tees off, there's a house right on the corner there, and there's fire across the street. It doesn't look like it skipped the road yet, but there was like a big gas can sitting up against the side of the house. I moved that, but I was like, I mean, I banged on the side of the house, and no one came out. So, but I didn't see any cars, so I'm assuming that they're probably already gone.
That's a little weird. Yeah, it is. I was like, shit, I see you dipping around on Morgan. I'm like,
yeah, no, we had. It's good we saw you actually. I was like, I don't know where the hell we're at, man. I'm so lost right now. Like, we're trying to talk to him. The phone kept cutting it out. Reception's not so great up here. And I was like, luckily we got everyone in here that's like they're like all GPS'd in. They're like, all right, we know where you're at. They're like, all right, you need to go into the couple of yards, take a left. Then people are like, you're an idiot. What are you doing up there? Get out of there. These people are going to shoot you in the face. But,
yeah.
Yep.
They're looking for active fires right now. That's the fire department.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll
trying to find
active
flames.
Wasn't he? Was it Skinner? Is that the one we took a Skinner off of?
Last night, long 4 days, and it's getting pretty good humidity at night, and cold. So, and with this inversion and smoke laying down, nothing's really jumping up and trying to do anything. So, you guys came a long way. Yeah, not a problem.
So yeah, I think he told you, but down like where it tees off, there's like one side of the street's got a house, the other side's got like pockets of like, some trees that are still burning that are laid down, but it hasn't quite jumped the road or anything. It's not right up on the edge, but that's just right where it tees off up here on the left, about, I don't know, a couple hundred yards up.
There's a tiny bit down in the drop of
How do you say this name of the street?
Huh?
How do you say the name of the street?
Haybelt and Hill Bridge.
Haybelt? Man, dude, I've been able to say it all night. Hobble?
Hay and Belt.
Hey, Belt.
All
right. All right, y'all. Take care.
You guys stay safe. You too.
All right. You might have to move your car, dude. You become a fire obstruction there, Jordan.
Right?
This guy. Bad parking.
Yeah, man. I was sketched out. Like, it's been happening. There's been a couple different carloads of people, and I chased one Mercedes up the road. That I heard it had everyone's talking about it was like a silver gold Mercedes with a license plate that was all like washed out. I saw that. You've been here all night.
Okay. And
Gold Mercedes I called in earlier. I've been sitting up on Hill.
Okay.
And then I saw a bunch of like Subarus, and I've seen
Okay.
these guys that I chased out for a second because I didn't know who the fuck they were.
Right.
And a white Toyota, like beat to crap with like little neon under it.
Okay. All right. Well, It was a long time ago. It was called in, and I don't want to go much further down because it's like really freaking smoky. So
Yeah, you
You
can't.
can't see anything out
No, it's
there.
like 10-foot visibility.
It walks a little better, but right when you go through this side, it's just, I'm going 10 miles an hour just looking out the window.
perfect. Well, I appreciate your guys' help. Thank you.
Thank you. Be safe tonight. That's an eerie look right there, just like the reds and blues through the smoke.
We see come over the hill,
All
and
the
the
lights
it
are
was just
weird right
something.
now because you can't see them until they're like
Right there.
right there, and you're like, oh, somebody's coming.
Yeah.
It's smoky up here. I live up above the high school.
You can kind of turn around up here is an easy spot for you. We're right there.
A lot of,
Oh, well.
we've had a lot of.
What did I do to be arrested by her?
Oh, sweet Zach. Oh, sweet Zach.
Yeah, you guys were like the fourth car.
That's crazy to me, man.
I didn't see.
And then there was one other one after you.
And I mean, do you think that? So, in your opinion, do you think people are up here like trying to do some shit? Really?
Yeah, the Subaru and the Toyota that were here, they said they're from Milano, but they're totally not.
Right.
They didn't know where they're talking about. They said, "Oh yeah, no, this
I
is
thought it was
I
you
started
guys.
mentioning roads,
Yeah.
and then I mentioned three
I was like, I
couple
know
in there
people.
that
I
weren't
promise
there.
you. Like,
And they were like, oh.
That's right next to the other one.
That's right next to the other one. Yeah, that road's by the other one. You're like, yeah, on a map, maybe, asshole. Yeah, everything's by each other.
Right.
weird shit.
It's like, yeah, you guys gotta go.
Yeah.
No, man, we're just gonna go look. No, you need to go.
Yeah.
They were totally. I mean, because they had the truck ready to load, obviously, and there was like
Cops are
5
there's
guys in
a
that
shitload of
in the car.
Okay.
Subaru, and then 2 guys in the truck.
Oh, so there's like a little convoy they had going.
They were ready to go. Yeah. And that's how the other one came up too. There was a
Happy Valley.
It's been quiet for
There
like
is.
Till I show up.
hours. It's like a
But yeah, no, the one that I didn't like was the orange Tacoma and silver, like, I don't know, Silverado.
Do they make
Didn't have
cars
plates,
orange?
Had no plates.
I've never seen an orange
It was an
truck.
orange Tacoma, like a brand new Tacoma.
Interesting.
There are some people, just so you know, there's some militia people out here that have no plates.
Okay.
I've told them, dude, the locals are not going to appreciate you guys having no plates.
There we go.
Well then.
Oh, you're one. You're one of the other unmarked ones. I see ya. Good man. Have a good night. Stay safe, buddy.
There's quite a few, like, there is a few completely unmarked, and there's a few, like, that you would not even
No,
guess.
but the truck, when I was talking to them, they're, we're going to sit with you for a second. So where's everyone at? I'm like, yeah, you're pumping me for information.
Yeah.
So you
No,
guys
we
guys
chased
got
down
it.
one of them, like,
Yeah.
to the point that we hopped in my neighbor's truck, drove around, and we pulled in front of them and stopped them. And as we get on the side, they have their windows down. I can see that it's 2 state cops in their vests, you know. And they're like, "Hey guys," you know. And we're like, "Hey."
You got to run better than that, guys. Like, come on, let's work on your game here.
No, these are all kids. They said they're from Oregon City. I'm like, well, we can go
Screenshot.
to Oregon City.
Yeah, that's where it's like all the people that are coming from out
So
of
if
town.
you want to
it's
come
like,
out and check it out during the day, when we can actually see what you're doing,
Take a
then fine,
screenshot
but
of
not
that.
in the middle of the night.
yeah, exactly.
It just seems sketchy.
Exactly.
Put me in a situation where I have to like hold my 40 against my door. I'm wondering if
Tap
you're
on the
gonna-
window?
All of them.
Oh,
have
usually
guns
that.
tucked in their belts.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah. Well,
all
yeah,
the
all,
shit I've been hearing about. I don't want to be one of them.
you don't want, need it, not
I
have
don't
it.
know what is the honestly being out here in the sticks a little bit more, or being more in town. It's so eerie in town because there's so few people there.
Another car. God damn.
That's another cop.
We're popular now.
It really does.
Probably does look like another cop.
With
Yeah.
the parking lights on.
That's exactly what it looks like. Yeah.
Oh hell, like drive-by style, you know, like hit the deck. It's they roll 3 deep though, you guys. Every cop that I've done.
There it is. Yeah, that's got the red and blues on right there.
So there's the 3rd one right there.
Wilsonville. Is that where we're at right now? Is that,
There are so many police in Estacada right now.
It's not.
You guys.
that was Malala the other night too. They were just zipping up and down every street, just double checking, making sure no one's in there doing some
From what I
nefarious
heard
activities.
Last night from my buddies up on Hillock, though, is that nothing really started until about 2 a.m.
Really?
The car, it was just like, everyone going around like we're supposed to, and
Yeah.
keeping track. and all of a sudden, car after car after car late at night.
Really?
And people chasing people around and just getting nuts. And that's where it's getting nuts everywhere. It's just later. They're waiting for everyone to go to sleep all the way. And like, okay, tired. And they get up, and tweakers wake up and they start coming out.
I don't think tweakers sleep. I think it's just
in the day, I guess. I don't know, they pass out.
Huddle in a closet in the dark and just...
They run out until they have to go sell some stuff and get more tweaker money. I don't know.
It's a vicious cycle.
I feel like the fire's not fair to my house.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
people right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Too long up here.
Exactly.
Would you guys say that's the biggest threat right now is people, not so much the fires?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's wild.
People starting the fires.
Well, that's
Yeah.
Have you guys actually seen, like, I mean, first-hand accounts of anybody starting fires, or?
I didn't actually see the guy starting it, but I showed up afterwards when my buddies were putting it out.
Really?
They said they saw the guy running. That's the lineup.
And was it like on a house, or was it just in like a
Just
field,
in the
or?
brush going up a hill like towards houses.
Really?
And then
Why do you think people are doing
And then
it?
over on Judd Road, another one of my friends actually chased her husband chased the guy off.
That was starting the fire.
And showed me pictures. I got pictures on my phone. I can show you. So the tire, gas can, garbage.
And what?
Ready to light.
What are they like? What's the intent? Like, why are they
I
trying
would
to?
only think copycats. Just trying to be like, hey, look what I did.
Like,
Like as a firefighter out here,
Yeah.
that's what we can encounter all the time. There's people just doing that.
Really?
When there's a one fire, they want to start another one. They'll be like, yeah, I got bigger. I don't know what it is about it. They
Just a
just do it.
pyromaniac situation?
Right. Boredom. Maybe some of it could be the Antifa stuff. I have not a clue right now.
So someone asked me a lot
Some
about
of
that
it's
earlier.
Terrorism, I feel like.
Okay, there you go. Someone was asking about the whole the rumors you guys saw online about the Antifa starting fires,
I've been
and
seeing a lot of that. Yeah.
well.
and then I saw a sheriff report that was like, that's all conjecture, guys. Like, don't feed into that.
Not all the sheriffs are saying the same.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah.
You share friends up here that have said different.
Right, and then I was on one of the news feeds or one of the live streams, a pretty popular one. I was talking to a guy earlier today, and he was showing a clip of a sheriff who was like flat out saying, he's like, no, we've arrested people that are self-proclaimed or...
We've heard it from them.
That's
It's
wild.
5 different times, I believe.
Exactly. Yeah.
Five different sheriffs have told
All right,
us
sounds
that
good.
people are setting fires.
People are, yeah. They're not saying that it's any one group, though, is what...
No,
No,
they haven't
it's-
said.
Well, I didn't.
Some people have implied that it could be a group, but
So-
there's a lot of information out there. But when 5 different sheriffs tell you that people are up here setting fires, pretty good chance it's probably true.
Do you think that the fires are being set? And just so you guys know, I'm asking questions is what I do. So I run a live stream channel called CJ TV, and I do coverage on everything. I just got back from the East Coast and was out there in Kenosha doing coverage and everything there. But we're here now. But a lot of questions are coming up, and the question that I think a lot of people have is like, do you think they're starting fires to make an opportunity for them to rob houses and do things like that? Is that
Entirely possible.
Sure, yeah.
Sounds plausible.
Distraction's always good when you're
Right.
trying to do something shady.
Something over here, then go over there.
the old okey doke? Yeah.
There has been some. I know a few people that have had attempted looting or robberies happen right now too. So
Yeah. His neighborhood had someone that broke in right there, right?
Yeah, it's just on the street behind me.
Yeah.
Just earlier today, and it was crazy because we had a group of, armed people at the end of our street, and then me and my neighbors, we were all patrolling the neighborhood too, and during that time, one of the houses got robbed in our neighborhood, and there's only one street in, one street out, so it seems to be potentially that they cased the place earlier today and then walked in on foot and did it and then walked back out.
We've
But
had some really-
who knows, really, it's hard to tell.
We've had some strange stuff. We had a guy come driving down out of the smoke at like 6:30 this morning, and a black clothes, gold car by himself, could give no reasonable explanation for why he was here, couldn't give any answers on anything, didn't know anybody up here, wasn't from here, he's from Silverton.
No.
Said he was lost. Well, somehow you found
you're really lost.
somehow
Yeah,
you
like-
found
yeah.
your way into a
Highway,
closed
like,
level 3 evacuation zone. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
what?
then on his dash, he
Yeah.
had something with a.
He had a GPS on his dash, and he had a pinpoint set for this
Oh, really?
this area, and we're like,
Okay.
if you can't find your way out with that GPS, like, we can't help you.
Well,
like,
I think it was all about him finding his way in.
Yeah.
You know, he's lost trying to get out. Maybe he's like,
he was
shit,
driving
I'm
really
in this maze.
slow, and he pulled over at Cole's driveway, and Cole hit him with his strobe light on his headlamp and was like, whoa, what are you doing? What you got going on? And
Yeah.
the guy was just hemming and hawing and stammering, and Cole was like, get the fuck out of here. Like,
Yeah.
you don't need to be up here. You don't know anyone. You don't live here.
Yeah.
You don't have property here. You don't have family. You don't have friends here. You don't have anything here. Get out of here. You're not.
Yeah.
You don't have a water tank on your in your Honda. You're clearly not helping in any way, shape, or form.
He's got a gas tank though, so you know.
Just get out of here. So.
Well, and we had a lot of that in our neighborhood tonight because most people, if you're coming up to check on a house, you see people that are approaching you or standing in the street or whatever and look concerned about things. You're going to go up, make yourself known, make your purpose known, let them know that, hey, you know. But you see somebody that stops as soon as they see the group of people
Yeah.
and then starts to back down the road and then turn around in the nearest driveway and head the other direction. It's like, that's a little suspect.
That's why I felt shady. Like when he didn't see your lights.
Nosed up and I
Well,
was like,
we
what
were
the
getting ready to
hell?
turn around and go check that driveway,
Yeah.
but we were getting in the middle of the turn. He didn't see your lights. I was like, dude, don't turn around.
Right
I was like,
as
no,
I
don't turn
turned
around.
into the thing,
And then
I
right when we started
turned,
turning, I'm like,
looked,
oh,
saw
this
his
looks so
headlights turn around the car, I was
suspect.
like,
Yeah, immediately I was like, that looks suspect as
I was
hell.
like, I'll just sit here.
I was like, dude, just stop moving. Just stop moving. Just stop moving. Like, he's going to come up. He's like, oh, he's got a spotlight. I'm like, I fucking bet he does. I bet he does. I bet there's a lot more behind that spotlight than just eyeballs. You know, I was like, immediately I was like, just don't move anymore. Please don't move. Just stop moving the car.
I mean, you guys stopped and
And then I tried to explain this to you.
Yeah, and then I was just like,
and he's
fuck
probably like,
you two.
get out of here. Yeah, he was like, I don't know the hell you're talking about, man, but you need to get out of here. You laughed. You're like, okay, you still need to get the hell out of here. And I was like, yeah, we're going. We're going to meet up with Jordan here. We'll
But
figure
then
it
you
out.
showed me that place up there too, and then I realized who that was. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, that's fine.
I couldn't. It was
And you
weird
know the
because
weird thing
all
is
I
I
saw
saw
was like
his-
the hose in the light, and I was like, couldn't tell what was going on.
I
So-
saw
You
his
guys have done
flashlight
a lot
before. I didn't
last
see you guys'
night,
headlights.
helping out the
Really?
Yeah, I saw his
animals out and
flashlight.
whatnot, linking
And I
That's
was
crazy.
like, what the heck? Because when I got back up there, I looked down and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that is right there. Okay, that's the flashlight. So
Yeah.
when I came up on you, I thought
I
that's
was
what,
like, all
what I
right,
saw.
you guys,
But it wasn't, because when I got back up, it was still up.
Yeah.
And then I kept on going. I went back down again. He was actually, lobbing shit down.
Just hosing his yard down. Yeah.
Which actually doesn't really happen right now because nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Even if
Just gotta
you're
let
out
the
there for like
smoldering
the best of
stop, and then you can all come back.
intentions, like,
It's just all the
Exact-
smoke. It's the
absolutely.
air that makes everyone.
Well, everybody,
Yeah.
anybody that's
Not
up
being-
here
Absolutely.
that has any sort of legitimate business can very quickly say, "Oh, hey, how's it going tonight? What are you up to?" And they'll tell you, "Oh, I'm going to check my place at this road, or I'm going
Yeah.
to check on
Yeah.
these people's place," and they give you a name. It's the people that can't give you an answer to
That-
anything.
Like all those
Yeah.
kids
You're
are
like,
like, stopped. I was like, what the
That was the
It's
hell?
hard
like-
part for us because we just had a comment come through. Hey, can you go up this road and check
Yeah.
to see if
'Cause
there's
we-
fire off to the south side? And we're like, okay, we'll just run by because we're
We
gonna
were
meet
meeting up with him in Estacada, so
And
we were like,
he's
all right, we'll cut
well,
off.
who's the person wanting?
And I'm
you
like,
check?
and then I tried to explain. I'm like, well, see, here's what we do. There's 1,000 people on the feed right now, and they're all asking, and I'm just explaining. He's like, yeah, get the hell out of here. I was like, no, trust me.
YouTubers up there.
Yeah, and then I couldn't figure out the name. I kept saying the wrong name. I kept saying like Warner or something
Yeah, I was
like that.
like, no,
And he's like, that's not even the name of the street, dude. And I'm like, this is getting from bad to worse, man. I was like, they're gonna shoot Zach. I'm sorry. I just start leaning behind him. I'm doing one of these ones. I'm like, oh, yep.
I'm like hanging out the window, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm gonna lean back and let you talk.
I just
I'm
got a lot
like, there's
lower.
a nice pillar right here.
Yeah, no, it was jeez.
God, the more we stand here, though, I want to go put out that little flame on that corner, though. That was not right here. It's around Haybelt. When you guys came around, do you guys come all
fire
the way around
guys were
Haybelt?
Yeah.
going up there. They're gonna go.
Yeah, that's when I pulled him out right on that, right on the corner where
check
dog
it
legs
out.
up, where there's like, and that was where I saw that house, like the big gas can sitting right there. I was like, dude, that's the last place you want to leave a gas can. Right on the
I
corner.
put a fire line around my buddy's house right around the corner down here.
Okay.
And when we're doing that, he has a rental house.
Mm-hmm.
And around the back of it, holy crap, they have all these tall gas cans right up against it.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, no, I can't do that.
Move those.
Yeah, let's slide those out of the way. Jeez.
We're gonna have those in the brush the next to the house.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
It'll burn itself out. And it's a weird thing. When I saw the church up, did you guys see the church on the way out?
No.
There's a church after you left me, when you go around a couple corners up there.
Mm-hmm.
The Dodge Church burned down.
No, really.
But it didn't scorch any of the trees. Maybe scorch them, but it didn't actually burn them.
That's right.
If
That's
that
weird.
was a real fire, that would have...
Yeah, it would have started from the outside in,
That would
right?
have started in, and then that would have been so hot, because it was a big old church, and
Yeah.
there was a trailer right next to it, and those go up like a candle.
Yeah.
And it all did. But
Yeah.
nothing else went. That's arson.
Crazy. So wow.
It's kind
Okay.
of like that one that we stopped right when we turned onto Kinsey, and that whole like is like maybe a 40-foot circle, just burned, and like one stump's just like roasting
Because
hot.
they put a bunch of fuel on it
But
and tried to get
there
it
was
to go, and then it burned
nothing
itself
up
out.
high.
Yeah.
or
That's what he's pointing out. He's like,
farther.
not,
It was-
going on right now.
Oh, no arson, no. No.
Protesters are peaceful.
Yes, exactly. I have
That-
no problem with protesters trying to be heard. I just
There
always
you go.
get upset when it turns violent. And
Yeah, when it turns
and they say, like, if they're saying, well, if all like, the whole thing right now about cops being bad and everything, right?
Yeah.
So if they're saying, well, if one cop's bad and the other ones are good, but they're letting the other stuff happen, then they're condoning it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you're protesting and other people are smashing windows and burning shit down, you're condoning it. So that's kind of, a little
Yeah.
bit of
It's
stuff
like,
going
okay.
on right
I
there.
think, man, I can say this 100% because I've been doing protest coverage for like 107 days. You
Right.
know, everything from like the riots to just water bottles at a building and federal agents and everything. But it's like at this point, everywhere, everyone needs to hold yourself to a higher standard.
Right.
And it's like
Well,
and that's
people
where a
are
lot of this is
standard.
about. Like when I'm doing my live feed, and I get shit because I try to walk the line as best possible and be very unbiased, but I'm in the thick of it.
Yeah.
But I say it to anybody. I'm like, I'm here to hold the candle to accountability. So right now, the police need to hold themselves to a higher standard with the way they interact with you. You need to hold yourself to a higher standard with the way you interact with the police. But right now, or whoever, but on the middle of the line right here, the median, that's where the conversation needs to take place. Let's do something about the fact that we're both looking at each other
There's
now.
idiots on both sides.
Talk
and there's
about
smart
it.
people on both sides.
Yeah, so let's talk
People
about it.
come together.
Let's have a conversation about it. Let's find a way to elevate a voice on either side that's going to say, hey, we're both going to be pissed off about this, but we need to make some concessions,
Right.
and let's figure it out. Let's walk away from this situation and make it better than what it is right now, because it's
The
bullshit.
best way to prove that we don't need the police as much as we might have them involved in our life is to prove that we don't need the police as much as we might have them in our life. So to hold ourselves to a higher degree of accountability, would give us what I think we all, I mean, I don't have any problem with less police involvement in my life or being tailed
Sure.
for driving around or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, I don't think we accomplish that through becoming more violent and aggressive.
Right, no,
as a
that's kind of the
society
opposite
either,
direction.
That's
Yeah.
going to get us the
Some martial law going.
Well,
exactly.
who said it?
Be locked in.
Who was saying it? Someone was saying it today. Was I talking to you? And they were like, or somebody like, yeah, well, like just like what's happened on here. Like if you get rid of a police force, the people are going to be the police force. They'll police themselves. And it's like, then what? Now you got people that are angry and don't have an accountability board that's going to be like, hey, you shot somebody. You may be on administrative leave. You're not fired, but at least there's someone looking at you for what you did. You're going to have just citizens that are like, you fucked up now. It's like, because I don't care. They're going to have that mentality. It's like, well, if I'm the police, I'm going to have my own view as to how I'm going to be some policing.
Exactly.
And so it's like, if you have the police, at least we have a structure there. Like, let's figure out how to make that work for us in a way that it's going to be productive and beneficial.
Public servants are supposed to work.
It's like people say, police can make up whatever law they want. It's the judge's job to enforce it or not.
Right.
Well, police can't make up laws.
They can't They have to enforce the law that's
To-
already there.
to
They're
a
not the
point.
law.
Like,
They're
they can
supposed to follow the law and
stretch
enforce
that
it, but
law.
not anything. They're not supposed to, though.
They can
Yes.
decide to enforce or not enforce laws.
My brother-in-law was a
That's
cop,
not
and
really-
he said, well, he was a straight trooper, and he said, I can stretch any law I want to give you a ticket. It's the judge's choice if he makes you pay for it or not.
Right.
But
That still sounds
it's
fucked
one of
up.
those.
Yeah, right.
I know.
It very much is.
But I've heard other cops say the same shit
But-
too. But,
Yeah.
but it's all like if you're being a dick or not.
But if
Thank
we
you.
want
That's
to,
a big deal, too. If you're going to be a
we want to take
douchebag.
away those
I'll
police.
tell you guys
I was
right
a
now.
dick because I was doing burnouts.
I've talked to multiple police, and not
Guilty.
just here. I was in Gladstone for a minute, and you can see it. Well, you can't see what it does, but I got a gun on my hip. And I had Gladstone PD. I had the chief of police come down to Gladstone PD, and very polite, and I always let them know, hey, I have a gun on my hip, and they're like, thank you, and no issues whatsoever. I've also had encounters with police where they've been total freaking pricks, and in those cases, it is hard to bite your tongue and yes or no sir, whatever, and I've gotten mouthy with a few of them, and they've reminded me that, well, if I want to be a dick, really, I can write you for that cracked windshield that you got, buddy. And it's like, okay, yeah. I'll bite my tongue. I'll rein it back in a little bit,
But if a cop's being a dick, though, I've always
been taught and believe that, okay, you can be a dick. My lawyer can deal with this tomorrow.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
I'm not going to escalate the
No,
situation.
exactly.
If you are in the wrong
Just sit
or
back.
breaking the law, my lawyer and you can talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah.
There's no point in me making the situation worse.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't argue with a cop.
But that's the thing is
Especially
people.
if they're heated and they're mad.
they-
having
Right.
shit.
It, does, it never goes your way. It never
something's
ends
not
up.
gonna be
It
good.
doesn't make the situation go any better when you argue with a cop.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's
I've never heard of a cop be like,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what? You're right, guys. I fucked up. My bad. You're cool.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You're cool.
It always
Deuces. I'm out of here.
you
My
know,
bad. I'm leaving.
It's not gonna
I'm
go
leaving.
that way. So
Yeah.
I will say that it's difficult when you get
Yeah.
into having to then rely on just getting an attorney involved. You know, that's not
I know, it's
cheap.
not.
You know what I mean? And so I've been involved in law in the past where I've had
I'm
to
getting nervous. I'm gonna go back.
essentially take a charge because it's like, all right, do I want to spend the $10,000 on fighting this in court? Dude, I got arrested one time in Portland because I looked
Here we go.
at a cop with an angry expression on my face. Okay, there was a fight. And I was a buddy of mine got into a fight, and he got into it. It'd be essentially like that is a cop car with its lights on, and he decided to get into a fight with the guy right here. And so the cop called for backup. Backup came, and when backup came, I was standing there. They were in a fight. They said, "Step back." I just looked up at the cop. I was heavily intoxicated at the time. Okay.
So this is the best of your memory.
Yeah. Well, so I actually just woke up in jail. Okay, the next morning in downtown Portland. Okay, it's like 5:30.
I don't think we can trust your recount of the story then, bud.
Well, so I did not trust my recount of the story. I actually had to read it in the police report when I got it after the fact, which is how I found out all these details. Because I just kind of came to. It's actually kind of a funny story. So I'll start where I started my recollection at. So I came to in Multnomah County, downtown.
Downtown.
On the Justice Center. And I walked up to the desk. They have just a chairs open, and it's in a day room, and it's all individual chairs, and they have a bench, like a desk, and there's just, one of the deputies sitting back behind it, the sheriffs. And I walked up and I said, "Hey, I'd like to know what I'm doing here."
He thought you were going to say, "What's for lunch?" You're like,
Well, and it was a gal. And
Where
she's
am
like-
I?
She's like, "I already told you that." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I do not remember you telling me that." I'm like, "So can you tell me again?" And she's like, "I've already told you 3 times." She's like, "If I have to
I don't
tell you
remember the second
again,
2 either.
I'm gonna actually process you in and put you into a cell." I'm like, "Okay, well."
I'm
So
still in
anyway.
jail. It doesn't matter much at
Yeah.
this point.
So-
Like, I
and
mean,
I tried convincing her that I had actually gained enough recollection that I think I'd actually remember it at this point in time. It didn't happen. So she
playing
told me-
psyops with the shit deputy.
She told me nothing. So I get out. I got a taxi over to where I was at, where I met up with my wife and my friend who got in the fight, or I thought I was meeting up with my friend. I'm getting dropped off by the taxi. He's getting dropped off by taxi, but he's getting out in a hospital gown. So I'm like, okay.
It's like The Hangover.
This
Like,
is interesting.
you were in the
right?
hospital,
That was my
man.
birthday too. To make matters worse,
Oh,
right? So,
lovely.
So he's getting on a hospital gown. He had shattered his elbow that night because when he got into a fight, they went down on the concrete and his elbow shattered. Cops show up and I'm like, "So why did I go to jail?" And they're like, he's like, "I have no idea." He's like, "Honestly, I was in a fight. Cops show up, told everybody to move. Next thing you know, they had you at gunpoint and they were hauling you off to jail." So I'm like, "Okay, well, obviously we both missed a huge part of this night."
Check your pockets.
Yeah, and so it's like a week later, my attorney gets a copy of the police report, sends it over to me, and police showed up, literally just asked everybody to move back, and I looked at the officer, and I wish I could remember the exact wording that it said in the police report, but something along the line of that I had an angry expression on my face, and he knew that he, in his years of experience on the job, knew that meant that I was intent on causing him physical harm, and he felt fearful for his life and was left with no other option but to draw his firearm, and he had me lay face down on the concrete and arrested me, charged me with I think it was disorderly conduct, which is essentially just like there's something happening and you're not going the other way.
Yeah.
And so it was like some community service to get out of it, and that's what I ended up doing. But it was either get an attorney and fight that, or it was a minimal charge, knew that I was going to have to do some community service and be done with it. And so I chose to take the charge and do the community service because I had other things that my finances were obligated for at the moment. So in that regard, it's like
when you look at it,
I'm gonna get going, guys. Sorry.
Hey, boss, take it easy, man. All right.
Do you look at it and go, yeah, I caused myself some of my own problems.
Oh, dude, I quit. Yeah. Oh, believe me, I quit drinking after that.
Yeah.
So it's been about 4.5 years since I quit drinking. That was about 4.5 years ago that happened.
So
good job, buddy.
It wasn't like it was completely without merit. Like,
Oh no.
I was just walking down the street totally sober, and I looked at this cop angry. And
I sneezed in his direction, and my face looked twisted and contorted.
There was a fight going on. Yeah, there was a fight going on and all that. You know what I mean? And
What he's not saying is he was sitting there peeing on him while they're fighting, like, this guy.
That my angry look when I, especially when I'm drinking, is pretty intense. So I don't know if it's life-threatening necessarily, but you know,
some pretty wide discretion.
I immediately feel threatened for my life.
yeah. So, but I've had multiple experiences with things.
Yeah.
I've had good and bad, and I've had much more good than bad. I just try to avoid encounters with police as much as I can, you know?
Right on.
I think that's the best advice
Right on.
in that regard.
Well, hey, do you want to keep running too? See if we can't catch up.
I was going to say, are you guys wanting to head out Malala Scotts Mills way? Is that where you guys were wanting to head to?
We were actually. I got a whole group of people that are up towards Damascus that we're trying to meet up. So they're going to try to do some relief work, helping out at the Clackamas County Center Clackamas County.
You guys don't want to.
It's bad.
We came through Malala.
Yeah, no, totally,
Yeah.
especially late at night.
Yeah.
He met up with some people.
Yeah.
We came up Silverton and stuff, and there was just no one there.
Yeah.
Meeting point
There was
for
no
people that
fires.
wanna help out.
Like,
Yeah.
this is
So
the
he got
first
in touch
like
with
fires
him
we
before he came out.
found.
I totally forgot that we already had this conversation before we saw you guys.
Yeah.
So Estacada, if we head out here, it's going to be 211. We can head into Estacada, and then I'll part ways with you guys there. I'll head back up to my
we
house.
just shoot straight to
And-
Damascus.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. It's just down there from there.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
if you guys just want to follow me out, and then
Yeah.
once we get into town,
Cool.
we'll
just keep
split.
following it.
All right.
Yeah. So.
Right on. All right, y'all. Hey, thanks for the time. Good talking with you, man. All right, guys, stay safe.